Thank you. So it's a great pleasure to be in the midst of all of you, and I'm really delighted that the Alumni Association has taken the initiative to do this very fascinating webinar on the impact of COVID-19. Uh, I'll just give you a broad perspective, and I hope all of you can see the slide. Can you see the slide?
శ్రీరాములు నువ్వు పోయితే నేను వస్తాను నడుచుకుంటా నువ్వు మార్నింగ్ ఎన్ని గంటలకు వస్తావు ఇక్కడికి
Perspective of what is happening around the world as far as COVID is concerned. And if you look at this particular slide, and you will see that countries with different population across the world are getting impacted. But India, of course, has the highest number of people, and therefore India has a huge impact. But there are other countries with lower population, so it's important to look at the impact per million in terms of the population. Next. Now, if you look at the deaths, the total death, and that is ultimately the test in terms of mortality. The deaths per million in UK and Spain actually are 100 times more as compared to India. And this is really, it's not the spread of virus, because whether we like it or not, virus will spread. As we go along, virus will spread. It will be very difficult to stop the virus. But the important thing is whether we are able to contain mortality. And India's mortality rate at about 6 deaths per million is very, very low compared to UK, Spain, Italy. In UK it is 608, in Spain it is over 500, but in India it is only 6.
Hello.
So deaths per million in UK and Spain are about 100 times more compared to India. Secondly, deaths per million actually consistently, even if we compare the time periods, the same from the date from which the COVID-19 started in each one of the countries. And we have done a time tracking of this. Iran, Germany, Brazil, USA, Italy, Spain, and United Kingdom. All, and this is a time series approach that we have taken. Thirdly, I think it's important to look at the case fatality rate. And case fatality rate is, as compared to other countries, that out of the total number of COVID cases that are happening, how many people are actually dying? And there, if you look at it, India has managed it very well. It's just about 2 out of the total number of cases. In UK and Italy is about 5 times higher, the case fatality cases. It's 14.5 in Italy, in UK it's about 14.2, but in India it's just 2. So the case fatality rate in UK and Italy is 5 times higher than India's case fatality rate. Similarly, we've done a case fatality rate analysis over a period of time, and India's, again, case fatality rate in time period over a period of time is extremely low as compared to all other countries. Next. The other thing which we looked at is what is the percentage contribution in total deaths across the world. Because virus will go across. Now it's spread to Latin America, it's spread to Middle East. But what is the percentage contribution in deaths across the world? And at the end of the day, success in managing the virus will be on how we've controlled mortality. Our contribution is just 2%, as compared to almost 27% of UK and about 9.7% in UK, and about close to 9% in Brazil, and about 8% in Italy. In India, it's just 2%. The other thing I want to point out is that our recovery rate is constantly improved. If you take the 5-day median rate, and if you take recovery rate has constantly been going up. And this is a good sign for India that while COVID has happened in major metros, the recovery rate has seen a constant improvement. And what we find is that in India, if you look around at India, as compared to other countries, what we find is that at 94.5%, we have the closed case recovery rate. Out of the closed case recovery rate, we have done very well compared to other countries. We have done much better than other countries as far as closed case recovery rate is concerned. This has been a very good performance actually by India. Next slide. We also looked at, we looked at deaths per million against the population, because it's important to look at population. India's population is very high. So we looked at deaths per million against population density, and we looked at cases per million against population density. And there you will see India right at the bottom, and therefore our deaths per million and our cases per million against the population density is again very, very low. It's very low. And very low, which is about 27.9. We have a very young population, and this is particularly important given the vulnerability of older age groups to the virus. And as compared to all other countries, Germany, Italy, Spain, our younger population will be able to handle this virus very well over a period of time. I also wanted to show that people above 60 of age per 1,000 people. So in India, that proportion is also, India is the lowest proportion of 60 plus people as compared to all other countries. And therefore, the people with comorbidity will also be very low, and we need to actually take care of them. So the challenge for a country like India, till we are able to get a vaccine, over 130 different companies are today working for a vaccine. There are close to about 30 Indian efforts which are being made for a vaccine. But till a vaccine is found, it'll be, the only solution is to have social distancing and masks, which is a must. Recent studies have shown that masks has been very successful, and therefore all of us must use masks and do social distancing. But till that time that a vaccine is innovated, it's important that we take care of the population with comorbidity, which in India's case is very low. And therefore, we had to open up the economy, because without economy, we would have sent out more people below the poverty line. Huge number of people would have gone below the poverty line, and therefore economy has been opened. And slowly, we'll have to keep ensuring that we go towards a process of ensuring that we get back into full production. But the important thing is that your major metros, Chennai, Delhi, Mumbai, and Bangalore, and out of these metros, if you look at it, Bangalore has done spectacularly well. Bangalore has been able to track up to 47 contact tests. 47 contacts. In Delhi, just 2.1. And that is the major reason. Bangalore, the mortality rate is extremely low compared to Bangalore and Chennai. The mortality rate is extremely low compared to Mumbai and Delhi. And therefore, what it shows is, if you are able to do testing, if you are able to do contact tracing, if you are able to do isolation, you will contain this disease. And that is very important. So I just wanted to point out that success in handling the COVID is not a function of the total number of cases that you have. It's a function of cases per million. It's about case fatality rate. It's about closed care recovery. It's about cases per million against population density. It's about deaths per million against population density. And it's deaths per million and contribution to global COVID-19 death toll. It's also about the median age of your population and at-risk population. All these factors we have looked at, and I think India's performance has been truly outstanding in all these various parameters. It will be very difficult to stop the virus without doing testing, isolation, and tracing, and that is really the key. And that is how Kerala and Karnataka have done very well, and that's a model which every city must follow in due course. And with these few words, as we get into this challenge, I think the challenge will be about finding a vaccine. It's got up here. So we'll be finding a vaccine. Until then, I think we'll have to handle it. With these few words, I hand it back to Mr. Dheeraj.